Now, how is everyone? We have a good show on tonight with Blaine Mecovy. So yeah, I am looking forward to tonight because I think Blaine will be a great guest. Carl Fox, how things? Um, yeah, so I hope everyone's looking forward to Lauren. Everyone's looking forward to tonight's show with Blaine. He is a great pigeon flyer. He's a great breeder. He seems grimy how's things. He seems to do the business all the time, and his boards are absolutely outstanding. So I said he'd be a great guest to get on and have a little chat with Anthony how's things, Stephen O'Brien. Yeah, so Blaine, is the show on tonight, pal? Yeah, I'm live now. Yeah, so we're live now. Blaine's waiting on the invite. I hope everyone's looking forward to seeing the interview because I am. I think Blaine's a little bit nervous, but he's still on the RPI seat. Yeah, still on the RPI seat. Look at, didn't even get a new one. Fucking squashed, isn't it? So yeah, we're gonna get Blaine on and we're gonna have a good interview. Blaine's at text me there, ready to go. That's good, right? So I can invite Blaine now. Add viewers to your broadcast. Hold on for a minute. Go. Invite you in. I'm just inviting Blaine now, lads. Sorry. Sorry there, yeah, I was just inviting Blaine in because I need him to actually be watching the live to invite him in to so we can get him on. It's a little bit different when you're doing lives to invite someone in from an Android phone to an Apple phone. That's what I learned. How's Stewie? Good man. Yeah, so I'm just waiting on Blaine literally to start watching, so I'm gonna invite him in. It's a bit weird though, so it took a lot of figuring out. Obviously I can't go live and just practice. But as soon as Blaine starts watching, there's Blaine now. Right, lovely. So I can grab him. Hold on now. Yeah, so we can just grab him now and why isn't he coming up? There we go. Right, so we're gonna add them in. Their fan won't be able to watch the live video unless they're selected. We're adding in Blaine now. Hopefully, you'll be able to see him in a few seconds. It's saying adding now. Blaine should get an invite on his screen, and then as soon as he all right, Blaine, what's the story?
Well, Aaron, how things?
Not too bad. I'm not even messing with you, right? I hadn't got a clue what was down there. Like, I didn't even practice doing that. I was just watching videos on YouTube how to break people into live videos. That's why I was a little bit late because, again, I was double checking I was going to do them right. So when you're, if for anyone out there, if they're ever doing a live, right, you can invite people into your live before you actually go live. But if you have an Android phone like a Samsung or something like that, the person has to be watching your live and then you can bring them in. So I figured that out the hard way. Well, Blaine, what's the story? You nervous, are you?
A little bit, yeah, but we'll see how it goes.
Right. So I thought it'd be good to bring you on tonight because obviously your results are great. You're the King Cups winner and you have a lot of nationals as well. You'd be more of a channel man than a land man, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, our boards do win up the land. They do win the fed and the land, but more so we're after the channel racing, like that one. We want to win every type of race. We want to win sprint, distance. Like we set our sights out to win any type of racing, like that one.
Right, that's good, yeah. And come here, like, see the family board you have. I remember you saying to me on the phone. I remember you saying to me on the phone. Your dad first got your family of Susans, did he?
Yeah, my dad got them 20 something years ago. they originally came from a fella called Jim Yule and Anna Long. My dad and him became pally 20-something years ago, and then they started swapping eggs, and Jim gave me dad some young birds, and then they just started. That's it, the party, and I'm very good friends with Jim at the moment, like that.
All right, very good.
26 years ago or something, 27 years ago, we have them.
I suppose you're racing them since day one, really, are you?
Yeah, well, I'm racing since day one. Yeah, I first started racing when I was 13.
Oh, I think we're at the drop in a Ruby.
My dad was a fisherman, so he was fishing, so I started racing. Me and my cousin raced them, and then my cousin stopped racing. I just took over then and got more keener. So that's the way.
I think we're dropping. That's just me. Yeah. So, what was the? Are you there? Yeah. I think you're a bit.
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So, like, right, you start racing when you were 13. What was the first, like? What was the first big win for you?
The first big win was, I'd say, well, they started winning straight away, but in 2008, we started racing young birds. I started racing young birds on my own, and I was one pigeon, which is Ocean's View Good Girl. She's the grandmother of the King's Cup winner. She won 3 first that year. I never forget it. Like, I mean, we went to Tasmany that year as well, young birds. They weren't let on the Saturday, they were let on the Monday. We had 5 in it, and I won the club, man. So that was my first big win, kind of like that, man.
Alright, very good.
But they started winning straight away, like I mean, like back when my dad was winning, back when my dad was racing, he was out fishing, come home. They wouldn't get much training, they wouldn't get much work, and they were still able to win, like I mean.
Well, that goes well here. No doubt you don't put you do put the effort into the pinch. Or when I was down at the Liberation at Pilmore Beach, or you were down there, training your young birds, like you drove down yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so that shows
training. Yeah, well, this year I had a bit of an accident, walk with my hand, and walked for 6 weeks, so I couldn't do much racing with the young ones. I couldn't do much training, so that's why I was doing that when my hand got better. That's why I like to put a bit of work into the young ones, a bit of education before they can be yearlings like them.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So then, what year did you win? Did you win the King's Cup in?
We won the King's Cup in 2014. That was in France, and in 2013 we were first open East Coast Fed 20th King's Cup, and then 2014 we won the King's Cup, done.
Certainly.
So
that's a serious achievement, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we only started really sending the pigeons to France in 2010. We sent the King's Cup for the first time. We sent to St. Malo before that, but 2010 we sent the King's Cup. I sent 2, and lads in my pigeon club, my secretary Joe Sharkey was always like, "Oh, why don't you send the King's Cup France?" And I said, "Oh, look, I didn't know much about it. Like I was kind of a bit nervous sending the pigeons to France, because I think a lot of my pigeons, like, I don't like to throw them away, like, you know?"
Oh well, here, yeah.
So he said to me,
sorry, go on.
Yeah, so then we started in 2010. We won the club. 2011 we won the club. 2012 we didn't go because in 2011 my loss got capsized by strong winds, and I lost a lot of my old pigeons. So 2012 we only raced young birds, and which the King's Cup winner was born in 2012, like that, man.
All right, very good, very good.
Yeah.
Right, so, like, see, there's a question there from, I just seen it, Stephen O'Brien. he said, what other pigeons apart from the Susans do you race, Blaine, and how have they done compared to the Susans regarding racing? Or have you brought in any other boards, or are you just stuck with your Susans?
Well, I have brought in other pigeons off different fanciers. I brought some in off very good friend of mine, Aidan McIntyre, in Northern Ireland, and I kind of get them in, cross them into my own, try them out. They've done quite well for us. But we like to keep the Susan pigeons pure because we don't like crossing them. I just like there's something about them because you can't get them. There's something else that nobody else has, like them. And I like to keep the family like that because you can't buy them anymore. So we brought in the Vanderbilt in 2015 from McCollins. I kept them pure, raced them. They done okay, but I just wasn't just a bit. We weren't happy with them. See, me and my dad worked together and we worked with Jim, and if we're not happy with them, like we just weren't consistent enough for us, like them. And it's where we live as well. In the Fed, we're kind of the last loft in the East Coast Fed, and it's especially with the land race, and it's very hard to win the Fed where we're living, like them. And
all right,
very hard. Like
that's another. The what?
But we have topped the Fed. We do top the Fed up the land, like them. And
yeah. Well, that's a thing I sort of learned when I was actually out drinking with the lads at the club, and like your living location, like it'll suit you for some races and it won't suit you for others. So I'm only learning that this year.
Yeah.
Like that, it's there's a lot of factors. Even like a race might suit you one year, and then the win direction is completely different the next year, and then you lose it, and you win something else you think you're not going to win. So that's what we've learned a lot. This year, like your location and I suppose everything on the day really. Like, see when you won your first King's Cup race, like did you have that feeling on the day, like everything was going right for you, or were you expecting something early, or what did you think? Like, were your boards going well for you that week?
When I won the King's Cup in 2014, or when I first started flying France?
Well, even say when you first started flying France, like, did you just have that good feeling you were going to do well that week? The boards were just telling you or showing you.
In 2010 we won the club out of France. It was Blue Cock, which he was coming down out of stitches. The pigeons were well raised. Like they would have got say Talmany, Buet, then Penzance. Like when they come home from Penzance, if they you know by them, like you can tell by them, like if they're flying 12, 13 hours from Penzance, then and they come home, they're okay. Well, I'd say they'll do France, like them. And but if they come home from Penzance and they're falling in the garden and they're wrecked tired, and you have to, it's all about the pigeons coming home. And then when the pigeons come home from the race, we kind of we build them up to get stuff in the water or to get special feed, and you have to see how they come out after that, because if they don't come around after being flying hard races, we wouldn't send them to France. I mean,
yeah.
There's preparation.
Yeah, like it's hard to get a board home from France, isn't it? Like, well, if everything isn't perfect, it'd be hard.
It's really, really hard. Like, it's hard to get a board home. It's hard to get a board home any channel race now, the way things are gone. Like, but yeah.
That's what there was there was some races like this year in Ireland, like channel racing, and it was a wipe. You know what I mean? It was going into bang off time, was going off the next day or the day after. You know what I mean? The race beyond say the Saturday, and like sure bang off wouldn't be on until Monday. That's how bad they were getting. It's just so that was a shock to me for being a first time flyer this year. Like so
that happened. Like, there was something happened this year with the young birds. There was a lot of losses for different fanciers, even in my own club. Like, I mean,
yeah.
I know lads in my club that were sending pigeons, and they were good fanciers now, and their birds were getting lost. Like, there's something's happening. Like, even in all federations, England, everywhere. I know fanciers in Belgium, Holland, Germany, everywhere, and there were big losses. Like, I mean,
yeah, definitely.
So there's something happening.
Well, look, sure, there's loads of there's loads of queries to everyone. Everyone thinks it's like this new 5G thing has a big thing to play with it.
Yeah,
That's
I
what I
heard that.
think. I've heard that like myself, like boards dropping out of the sky. I don't know how true it is, but I haven't witnessed it with my own eyes. So seeing is believing. Yeah. So like, so see, I see. Obviously, you're always up on the RPI page, with decisions and like with breeding wise and stuff like that. Like, would you have more interest in old board racing or young board racing?
I my passion for pigeons is more so is the breeding side. Like, I mean, I love breeding the pigeons. I love it all, like, but mostly breeding the pigeons. When we pair the pigeons up, it takes me a bit of time. I take the time then, and I've got like a passion for them. Like, I mean, I take a bit of time off work. I kind of be looking at what one I'm going to pair to what one, different things like that. I mean,
What the losing again? I mean, it's very fucking jumpy. You there? Sorry, I dropped you there again. Yeah. So I was because I've been looking, seeing a lot of you. Like, have you had? Obviously, have you sent out many young boards, say throughout Ireland, England, and other countries that have been scoring as well and like doing well?
Yeah, some young ones have gone out. Last year, went to England. One lad got sick. One of them died, and so I had to replace it. And then 5 of them young birds, each one of them was scored from them. One of them was won 2 first, another one was second, another one was third. I mean, so he has ordered 6 more, like, I mean. But
that's
different people got them. Like, I mean, it's people have got pigeons off. Some of our stock pigeons that have rang me up and said, "Oh, they won." Pigeons have gone to the north. Have bred a few winners. It takes time, like, I mean.
Yeah. And like, so do you think a certain system only suits your pigeons on a certain feeding system, or are they sort of like they'll adapt to if you give it to a fancier, they'll run his system okay? Or
Yeah, well, they will, because I race my bird around about, and Jim, my friend in the north, like, when he was doing his, he flies with a hood, and I fly mine round about. He feeds his total different than I feed mine. So, like, the way we feed our birds and the system that we raise, they should do well for other people, like that one.
Yeah.
But you have to, our system, we raise 36 cocks, 36 hens on a roundabout system, do man.
Yeah.
And they go like every week, like, I mean, so.
Right. So like, see, if you're prepping your boards for France, and obviously you're aiming to win it, like when would you start? Like, would a week in advance? Like, say if you start prepping them on the Monday to race the France that Saturday, or would you have to prep the boards a couple of weeks beforehand and build them, slowly build them right that race you want to get?
Yeah, well, like, the pigeons are racing up the land, say, week in, week out, and in the club, and then we send them across the water. About 2 weeks before the first channel race, we change the feeding a bit, kind of change it to a bit heavier. And then, like, people, you have to have the body in the pigeons. People think, oh, I can give him something in Monday and he'll fly France on the Thursday or the Friday. That won't happen. It takes 5 or 6 weeks or 7 or 8 weeks, like, for the preparation of the body. You get the muscle right, and like, you can tell by the pigeons, like, the way we feed them and different things, like, I mean.
Right. And like, what, say for someone that wants to go into channel racing, could you name something like that you'd have like be viable to you to feed your boards to get them across the channel, say it'd be a necessity to give them to?
No, not really. Like, we feed our birds. We use a lot of bear's corn. We use a lot of peanuts.
Right.
When they come home, they get the peanuts. I mean, they come home every evening. I go into the cocks or the hens. I go in every evening, and they all get peanuts in their boxes. I mean, They know they can see me coming. They see me coming with this bucket, and they know they're all in the box like soldiers. Like they get their peanuts. The hens get the peanuts. Like then when the channel racing comes, my birds get as much as they want. Like they don't get starved. Like they get so much in the morning, so much in the evening. Like they're not hungry. Like them.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. But suppose like if I told you to run 150 mile up the road on an empty stomach, I don't think you'd do it, would you?
No. You have to put the body on. Like now, we don't want them too fat for France because there is times that we sent them and I think they've been a bit overweight and we didn't get them. But like you don't send like we want them kind of. They just have to be right. Like them.
Yeah.
Like I've been learning from different fans before. Even I'm learning all the time. I'm still I ask questions to other people but I know as I've handled other people's pigeons that have flown France and have been going to France, and they're not overly heavy. They're just right. You can just tell. Like
Yeah. And so like say for next breed, obviously you're getting ready for breeding, or like when you're planning on like see for next year, like what are you going after particular races next year, or are you still going to fly the land and just try get what you
next year. Oh, we don't really go away for saying really.
And to losing them there, aren't we? God.
I lost you there.
I
lost you. We go out for every race. Like we'll be starting off next year, the first race. We want to win all the land races. Then we want to go in the channel. But I don't set myself out for France. Like if I have 1 or 2 this year, I say to myself, but they might get killed before the King's Cup. They might get killed before the Talbany. Like we had a brilliant pigeon this year. I left her around the house the first week and she was killed. Like so it's. I don't know. I just take it. I just take it time by time. Like
Yeah, that's it. I think the key is not to be rushing really, and just keep looking at your boards and every day just assess them and see how you go, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the way we do it. Like we will be just take it as time. Like we'll be getting the boards at the moment. The boards are molten. So they're nearly finished. All the cocks are in the boxes and all the hens are in the umber loft and they're all getting the molten mix together. And the molten comes around and all the
again, is there like see when your boards are molten, is there any key little thing like for the molt that you for anyone starting out or a young flitter to say here, listen, don't like you use this stuff as much as like during the molt and it'll be right, you know?
Yeah, well, during the molt we use a lot of natural products. We use a tea. We're using the Pigeon tea. It comes from PJ Lofts in England. There's a molten tea and a racing tea, and then there's a detox tea. We've been using them teas probably 10 years now. You boil it up, you put it in the pot, you boil up, and you can add a bit of garlic to whatever. You give it to them. Now, my birds will get that 4 or 5 days a week, like that.
Oh, very good, yeah.
There's no specific name in it, but we give the tea. In the morning, my birds get seed, and then they get home form in the morning, like a little breakfast, and then probably 3-4 o'clock they get their main molten mix. When the breeding starts coming, we kind of get them. We had a bit of barley, kind of a bit of pure, to kind of lighten down the weight in the pigeons, because we don't want to stop. I don't want to stop pigeons being too heavy, but we do use a lot of Sedicol, we do use a lot of Sedicol. I get it from Tallis and Schroeder. You can get in Hanos, you can get it off. I get it off Jeffrey Green. I get in different places like that, man.
Yeah. And like that'd be your go-to thing for the molt.
Yeah, well, it helps the mold. It detoxes the liver. It keeps the bird right. I give on top of the food. I used to give them the water, but it's a bit of a waste, like because you have to put, I think it's teaspoon 2 liters or something. It's a bit of a waste in the water, like that.
Right. Fella here, William McCauley said, how long do you give garlic in the water for?
Well, the garlic, when the mountain's on, we'd give garlic in the water probably 3 or 4 times a week. We mix it with this tea.
Yeah.
They might get it 3 or 4 times a week. Like, we mix it with the tea. Sometimes we might just give garlic on its own, but we get the garlic boiled. We take all the leaves off it, the whole lot, and then we chop it up. I chop it up, and then we put it in the water. We just don't throw in the clove. Some people just throw in the clove, like them.
All right. Matt, I'll go through a few questions with the lads and see. Good evening. Right, great achievement. Right, that's Stephen O'Brien's question. I asked that. Gary Thompson and evening guys, well done. Arron Blaine has done great in a short space of time. Met him down at Sheldon's. He's a top bloke. Eddie McGettigan, I think. Aiden's boards are super. Great cross for yours. That's what he says. Blaine Mecovy. Blaine, a fella Gramey asked, Blaine, do you run the bull system?
We done it once. When was it? I think it was 2012. Me and my dad done it. We just didn't like it because you have to keep the hens locked up. And then we had the cock. We done it with stitches, but we thought it kind of burnt out the cock too much. And like I'm very like our pigeons. My pigeons are treated like they're any better treating any human. Like we just thought it wasn't happy. He wasn't happy, like so we wouldn't be mad about him.
Right, so you tried it and you didn't like it, and that's the end of it, really.
No, we didn't like it. Yeah, we thought the pigeons just weren't happy in it. Like we don't like pigeons being locked up in boxes. Like we don't have breeding boxes. Me stock lot's got 24 boxes in it. They've got access to an aviary. We like them to be happy. I'll tell you a story. We had this hen. She won Penzance 3 times for us.
Yeah.
She 2011 pigeons. She flew the onboard Penzance. She flew the Ireland National. She won the secondary Ireland National. And she won Penzance. But I took her out of the racing loft 2 years ago. Brought her into the start. She wouldn't settle in the start loft, so we brought her back to the racing loft, and then she laid there. The outboards have to be. We like them to be happy, don't we?
Yeah. So you brought that hen in, and she didn't like the surroundings, and she just wouldn't lay for you, and you brought her back in and to her own surroundings.
Yeah, we brought her back to her original box in the race team, in the race loft, and then she laid like them. She's actually a brilliant hen, like them. Our sort love, like the birds, we like them to be happy, like them.
Yeah, I think like that's a big thing in my loft as well. I like the birds have plenty of room. They have an aviary, they can bounce in and out all they want. I don't lock up my birds either, you know. So I think that's key as well. So like a happy pigeon is not going to win. He's not going to want to fly home to a loft he's not happy in, really, isn't it?
Yeah, no, the birds have to be happy, even in the race loft. Like me and my dad were working in the loft all day today. Like we try to get all the work done and all the lofts done early. Probably around now, and then next couple of weeks we want to just don't do that in the loft. Just leave them alone, like because pigeons have to be happy, like
Yeah. Well, I'm the same as you. I got all my work done early this year as well, because again, I don't want to be annoying them. The only time you want to see me is when I'm giving them a bit of food and water, really, you know. So that's it.
Yeah, well, we'd be the same now. I'd be in there cleaning out and hoovering out and different things. But we like the birds they have to be happy. When racing comes, we don't change that. And like the pigeons get out at a certain time, they get fed at a certain time, they're trained whenever I can train them when I come home work. I work shift work, so it's a bit difficult with training and that, but we walk around it like them.
Yeah, well, look, I think everybody has to. We'll flick through another. Here's another fella, Chris Davis. How far does he race out into miles? So what's the distances, Blaine? that you've been winning from?
Well, my first race this year was 88 miles, and then you go out as far as France, which is 4:36 to me miles.
That's a good distance, isn't it?
Yeah, good distance. Yeah, now we the East Coast Fed first Ulva race used to be 120 miles, which is Tremor, and then we go on out then as far as 200 miles of the land, and then cross the channel then, I mean.
Yeah. So obviously, like the Pigeons are doing it from any really distance for you. So they're a good all round bull for you.
Yeah, they're good pigeons. Like we topped the Fed this year at Tremor. We sent 36 pigeons. We were first and second Fed, I mean.
Yeah.
It was a very fast day, and it was a very, very fast day, and we weren't really expecting them, and that was doing sprint racing really, and then that same pigeon has scored before, has flown 200 and something miles in a hard day, like that one.
Yeah.
So
so he knows his job.
Pigeon.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, he does.
Right, he goes, what do you like the boards to be sitting for? What do you like the boards to be sitting for, France? I don't really get that. Timmy Hennessy. What do you like?
When we're going on the channel, for all the channel races that we go on, we don't put them sitting in eggs or anything. I mean, they're all following a roundabout system. Yeah.
Right.
It's because we keep our boards going all the time. They kept, like, even a couple of weeks before the big French races, they kept training. We kind of put more work into them when it comes to France. We put more pressure on them, I mean, because you want the extra bit out of them. So, like, we don't put them sitting in eggs because we believe.
Every time. Point again, like our board motivation be a new thing to me next year. So I'm trying my best to catch up with a lot. Like I'm trying my best to read up and watch a few DVDs on motivation and how to motivate my boards properly. And I think the roundabout system is that's what I'm at setting up for. I think that's going to suit me better for next year. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll work out for me. So that's Timmy Hennessy's. So I'm in Glasgow. Can't wait to start up. So here we go, Grammy boy. I'm in Glasgow, Scotland. I'm also scared to try France. First, I'm going to try one loft in Ireland. Can't wait to start up with some Blaine Mecovy specials. Obviously, he's been on to you looking for boards, has he? That's a fella called Grammy boy. He's from Scotland. I don't know if he was on to you. Yeah, he's a nice dude. Scott Barron, hope all goes well for you, mate. I'm starting myself. Fair play, Scott. Keep going. Christy, sorry, I can't really, so I don't know your second name. Blaine, do you do one-off races, Blaine? Or have you got an interest
in? Well, I don't really have an interest in them, but this year was my first year going. A friend of James contacted me, and his name is Robert Valentine. He contacted me wanting to put 3 into Sean's race. I mean, so I put 3 in, and now they went okay. One of them was 9th. I think one of them was 10th. They went okay. Like, I mean, I don't really have an interest in them, but I will probably send it again next year. Like I'd support them. Like it's for an Irish thing, so I'd support. Like them.
Well, here, look, that's a good view. That is a great view to have on the one-off races. Again, yeah, they have caught my attention as well. It's just like doing the lotto. That's the way I look at it. So realistically,
yeah,
you know, it's like the lotto. So you might get lucky and you could win a ton of money, and like, but you could place very well in it as well, and that'll give you interest to go again next year. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at them as well.
Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, if not, you can't win. Like that.
Right. Who else have we got? Scott Parham. Right, here we go. Keith Gardner. Well, you said you don't let them sit eggs, but Keith Gardner says, do you let the roundabout boards rear young boards before racing? And what date do you pair them up? So obviously,
yeah, we have tried it both ways. We tried the pigeons just sitting eggs and then race them, but we believe that they have to rear young board. I mean, we like them to rear young ones to get the bond to the box. I mean,
all right,
especially for the cock. I mean, the roundabout pigeons will be paired up probably about the 23rd of December, just a couple of days before Christmas. I mean.
all right.
And I'll be off Christmas. We usually pair stop boards up a bit a week before it, and then pay the racers up then, like that, man.
So there'll be a lot.
Yeah.
John O'Brien, does he use peanuts? I think we got to that one. He loves peanuts. Peanuts is good for your boards. Lancashire, right? No, that one's not for us. Just answered. Yeah, sorry, John. Peanuts are a simple key to lots. Brilliant. John Berry. How long do you give your? Yeah, we said that one. I can't wait. Sorry, just little conversations going on here. What vitamins do you give your youngsters, Blaine, or do you use any at all, or are you a reliever? Or?
Yeah. Well, we use a horse vitamin. It's called Arron X Plus.
Oh yeah, we used to have horses.
We use that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we use Arron X Plus. Yeah, we use that now. We don't really give it to the racers. We more so give it to the stop boards. I mean.
All right.
It's got iron in it. We like to give the stop boards like iron kind of products, like that, man.
Yeah.
But we were using the Oasis that Nigel Cowwood had, but he passed away, and we can't get any more. We're using Oasis from Fraser at the moment, but we use the Tolleson Forte. It's a black bottle. We find it pretty good, like that, man.
Yeah.
And,
what does that do?
It's got like amino acids in it. It's got like all different types of vitamins in it. When we more so like to give that on top of the food, like I mean, it has the fat on it as well. I give that on top of the food, I mean, and we use the product there. It's called 11-in-1. I'm using it at the moment. I bought it there last week. I used that. I've been using it. It's an old product, like I mean.
All right.
I think Advivorm or Advi something makes it. It's got different vitamins and different things in it, like them.
Right, so it gives a bit of everything to the youngsters. It just helps them along, really, does it?
Yeah, it helps them on. Yeah, they get plenty of vitamins, like them, and they get stop boards probably get vitamins 3 or 4 times a week, like them.
Yeah. That's not a bad thing either, no? Nice, great lad, total pigeon mad, lots of time for him. This fella, Malkany Pigeons, nice to see my mate, great lad, total pigeon mad, lots of time for him, he says. Chris Davis, how far does he train his boards before the first old and young? So how far do you train? How far does he train his boards before first race old and young? So
yeah, for the old boards, we like to give them about 10 tosses before the first old board race. I mean, we start them off about the first toss would be about 20 miles. Probably give them 3 or 4 out of there. We like to see them. I lost you there.
we like to see them
getting out. Yeah, we like to see them getting out of the bus and going home straight away. Like, I mean, if they're not getting out of the bus and going home straight away, we know there's something wrong. Like, I mean, then we move them on. To Leopardstown. To me, is probably around about the 40-mile mark, 35. Probably give them 4 or 5 more there, and then we might go down to Arklow, which is 70 miles to me. So we'd probably give them 2 spins to Arklow. That'd be for the first race. I mean.
Right. And would that be the same for the young boards as well?
No. For the young boards, the young ones get trained. Like, that's what happened with me this year. I've been off and I couldn't train the pigeons. The young ones get trained a lot, like, I mean.
Yeah.
Like, the young ones would get. I started them off, say, I think the first toss is 5 or 6 miles, give them 2 of them, and then I give them baby steps. I don't like rushing them. I mean, I don't say, oh, give them 4 or 5 tosses and then jump them on. We bring them, say, 4 or 5 miles, then we bring them on, then another 10 miles, 15, and then we get to, we have a spot. It's along them one day. We have a little spot. It's probably about 16 miles to me. We give them as many times as possible out of there until they are getting out and going home. They has to be doing a mile a minute. They has to be doing a certain speed. Like we stop watch the pigeons. We stop watch from training. Like that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, and then we move them on. Then we move them on. Then up to Dublin. Then they go on to Leopardstown. Then we give them one spin in the transport. They have to be well educated, and we believe young ones are like kids when you're sending a child to play school. It has to go young, and we put a lot of work into the young ones. Like.
Oh, well then, I think to being like successful old board, like the more education they have when they're younger, sure they're just gonna bloom down when they're older. You know, it'll just be second nature to them going into the transporter and coming home. They'll just know their job better. I think personally, you know.
Yeah, well, from young age, all the young ones are all basket trained. I mean, my dad looks after all that. We have special baskets for them. They're just like club crates. He catches them all, he puts them all in, and puts drinkers on. That's his. He loves routing with them. Like he loves doing that. Like them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we think it helps, like especially when you go on the channel races and that. Now, like I seen them like they do take a drink of water. I've seen it myself, like them.
Yeah, I know, definitely, yeah. And like, so there's a fella here, Sean Hay, I think his name is. Does he give his boards when racing a measured amount of food? Like, do you measure out your food for each pigeon when they're in racing, Blaine?
For the cocks, yeah, for all the land races, they all get a certain amount.
Nightmare.
Yeah, for the cocks they keep getting a certain amount, and then for the hens, then they get a certain amount. They kind of get cut down, and then they get built up towards the weekend, like them.
Right.
But when they go on the channel, the cocks get as much as they want, and then the hens will get a heavier mix. But they get really as much as they want when they go on the channel, like them.
All right, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Here we go. Who's next? How long does he give? How long do you give your boards to produce the goods when you're breeding off them, Blaine? Like, how long would you give them? Would you give them a certain amount of time to produce a winner for you, or what way would you work it?
Yeah, I mean, like all of the top pigeons we breed, say, like now this time of the year, we bred a load of laybreds off all the top pigeons, and we put them in aviaries. They are probably I've only 2 or 3 flights. They only have to drop them 2 or 3 flights now. They are my next generation.
Right.
We give them probably about 2 or 3 years, maybe a little bit longer. But if they don't produce any winners, they go like them. And I kill them. Like this year, I probably killed about 15 or 16 pigeons there not so long ago. They just weren't doing what I wanted to do. Like them, and like, they're all like their brothers and sisters are bred winners, but it doesn't mean like they're not all good. Like them, and like I do kill them. Like them.
Yeah, well, here, that's your job to be able to see the good ones from the bad ones, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I do. I select them. Like me and my dad. Like my dad would say to me, "Oh, I don't think that one's good enough. I don't think that like he's hard." And I'm gonna be on the phone to Jim, and like if I need, say, I wanted to, let's say I needed an extra cock, an extra hen, just call Jim. He give me one, or I give him one. We swap all the time, like them, and that's what it's all about, like them, and
yeah, that's it. Do you find any use in cinnamon overfeeding for the pigeons during molt? Do you find cinnamon useful? Did you ever use it?
No, we used to use it with the young birds. We used to give it to the young birds that hadn't digest the corn, but now we don't use anymore. We used to, but we stopped using.
All right, no bother. Again, no animal likes being locked up. You're right, keep them happy. Playing great pigeon man. That's John O'Brien. If he could have any flyer as a mentor, it would be. So yeah, this is a regular question that Chris Davis. if you could have anyone as a mentor, who would you pick? For say, if you were starting off fresh, or probably be your dad.
Yeah, well, my dad and Jim, we kind of had. I know a lot of good fanciers. Like I know people all over everywhere, like them in England. But I'm very pally with a fella called Roger Lowe. He's very good fans in England. Like I get a lot of good tips off him, and I get like there's different people. Like I don't like. I don't think one person can tell you everything. I'd like. I think you need to be asking questions. Like for a young fancer coming up, I think he needs to kind of get to know a couple of people and ask them different questions. Like one fella could do something different, try different things. Like I mean,
yeah,
like yeah.
So well, I suppose here, if you don't ask, you won't know really, won't you? Not because
yeah, like I asked those the questions. Like
how does he think he can improve in the sport? Chris Davis, how does he think we can improve the sport in the future? So what do you think is good for pigeon racing? Losing him again, are we? No.
hello, yeah. The sport, it's trying to get, like, say, get young people into the sport, but it's too dear for young people to get into the sport. Like, I mean, maybe try and get the older people, like, try and get, say, retired people that are, say, 60-something years of age, there's nothing else to do, try and get them into the sport. Like, I mean, like, there's a couple of older people that joined my club this year. One fella never had pigeons before, and he joined it this year, and he kind of he liked it. Like, I mean,
yeah.
So he came down to the pigeon club and he asked questions, and he got pally with lads. Like, I mean,
yeah, well, like that's the main thing. Like, yeah, like starting up in pigeons is an expensive thing. Like I started a year ago, and sure, like fucking, you don't see $4,000 going on a pit. Like, if you want, well, the way I'm a real, if I do something, I do it properly. You know what I mean? It's just the type of person I am. Like, you wouldn't see $4,000 going on like no problem. Like, you're sure, between me and my little brother, by the time you pay your fed fees, your club fees, you get your few boards, you buy your feeders, your drinkers, your perches. You know what I mean? Then if you have an interest in buying in a few boards, if you buy 2 or 3 boards, like, you could drop the gust of $1,000, no problem. It is an expensive hobby to get into. I think personally myself, yeah.
it is very expensive. I give a lot of things to charity. I mean, I give a lot of boards away to charity all over. People never, like, there's people on all the time looking for pigeons, and I believe that, like, there should be some sort of a thing done, charity thing done, like that they have a charity sale and they keep the money for, say, young fans that are starting off, and we give the money to him, like, I mean, and then try and get young people in. Like, I seen there's a few things there, people in England and people trying to get schools involved. Like, kids don't know about pigeon racing. No, like, there's a lot of young people don't know about pigeon racing. Like, I mean,
yeah, definitely. Do you use a treatment cycle with your roundabout boards?
yeah. The treatment starts kind of in about another week or two. All the breeders will be getting treated for canker, cocci. They get treated for worms twice. Then the racers are the same. I mean, they all get treated before they start pairing up. I mean,
yeah.
They all get liced. They all get vaccinated. Before racing starts, they probably get about a 10-day treatment of respiratory in the water. Then they get cankered. About a week before the first race again. We have a system going. Like, every week when the birds come home from a race, say they come home Saturday, the Sunday they get electrolytes in the water. We use this product. It's like a rebuild kind of thing. rebuilds the muscles. They get that on the Sunday, and then Monday and Tuesday we use a 4-in-1 product. There's one from Harker's, there's one from Dr. Van der Sluice. We kind of don't use the same one all the time. We use one every week, a different one, because we think the pigeons can get addicted to it, like, I mean. So one week I might use this one, and following week I use a different one, following week. But we don't really give too much. Like they get 4-in-1 for 2 days, 1 day. That's because we don't want them picking up in the baskets. But like then before a big race, you might treat them again for SLB, say for 2 or 3 days, like just to clear out their heads and that, like, I mean.
Definitely,
yeah, like we don't really the pigeons get batted quite a lot. We're a big believer in giving the birds a bat, like the birds get a lot of bats.
Yeah, so am I,
Yeah, like we give them a lot of bat. Now the races, when racing starts, they get a bat. They get a bat on the Sunday morning. It's warm water. It's lukewarm water, because we think it helps the pigeons' muscles. And then on the Thursday, they get a bat again. I mean, because on a Wednesday, the round of the pigeons, they get trained every Wednesday. So they're flying around the house, say Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday morning they fly around the house, and then say Wednesday afternoon they go for a toss. See that we bring the cocks and hens together, I mean.
Yeah. All right.
And then that's kind of the system, like, I mean.
Blaine, how many times a year, or how many times you vaccinate youngsters a year, or do you vaccinate for salmonella?
Yeah, the young birds get vaccinated soon as they're taken away from the stock loft.
Right.
For power mix, so we use Clumber back, and then probably about 5 weeks later they're done against herpes and power mixo. And then we let them go through the mold. When they're in the middle of the mold during the darkness system, we use power mix or power typhoid. It's a 2-in-1. It does power mix on power typhoid. We use that. That's during the darkness system. That's it. So they're done 3 times against power mix, so them.
Sorry.
And once against power typhoid, them. Yeah.
Yeah. So there is.
We believe in treating them. We believe in injecting them, like, them. Well, I've done it like within years, like, them.
Yeah. All right. Fella here, Christy Coachy or something like that. What month of the year do you start breeding? You said, what was it, around Christmas time, is it?
Yeah, around Christmas time. Yeah, I usually take a few days off or try and walk around, and around Christmas time. Yeah, like, depends how everyone goes. Depends on the weather or that, like, but we usually go around Christmas.
Lose him again every time he gets a message.
Yeah, every time you get a message.
Yeah, no. Here, look, it's grand. It's just something you have to deal with. Fella, do you basket train straight away after weaning, or do you leave them alone for a week or two, or what way would you do it?
No, we let them go. Yeah, we let them kind of mold out during the darkness system, and then on a Saturday, when we're waiting on the pigeons, my dad would catch, say, one section, he put them in the baskets. We've got 4 club crates. They're designed like club crates, and he put them in on a Saturday. We'll probably do it 10, 15 times, but we let them go through the darkness first, like, them.
Right, that's good. Damien Thomas Murphy, how many grams per bird do you feed? I suppose that was in a later question. Do you have a certain amount of grams, or do you want to give it away?
No, when we start raising the widow cocks, they get a certain cap. It's a cap. It's like a big spoon.
Right.
Heap full. It's a certain cap we have. It's like off the top of a bottle that we had, and we're using the same cap for years, like, it's equivalent to a big heap spoon, like,
Yeah. Fella Andrew Walton here. What does he think of feeding beans for channel races?
Now we don't believe in it. We have heard about it, and we don't do it now. We do add a bit of protein, like we do add a bit of liège, but we only it's young bird liège. We give that to the pigeons when they come home from the race. I mean, say on the Sunday morning, they probably get a bit of that because we want to rebuild the back the muscles because we reckon the protein is good for them. But no, we don't feed it. We're using the same feed in years, like I mean, so
Yeah, that's good. That's
don't
good.
change them, like I mean.
A fella says here, how did you start in pigeons? You said that at the start, your old boy took an interest in the old fishing and you just start going from there, didn't you? Or that's what you said, I think.
Yeah. My dad was fishing. My dad was fishing 30 something years. So when he was away fishing, I had me and my mom, my cousin started taking them over. But now my dad, he's not fishing anymore, so he's at home and he helps me out. I couldn't raise pigeons without him. Like I mean, I need a help. It's the way I walk. Like I mean.
Yeah.
Even though in my family, my mom, my dad, it's pigeons all the time. We talk nothing about pigeons. Like I mean, it's
well, like, that's the same in my house. Like my mom knows every single one of my pigeons. She knows every single, like she knows the system with the loft. I do it with my little brother, and again, I won't be able to do it without him. But I'm a firm believer. You don't enjoy things when you do it on your own. It's great to experience things with other people. So if you do get the win, you know what I mean. It's 3 people winning, and these are all sharing that great moment. That's what I believe in myself.
Yeah.
Definitely. Fella here again, Arron Haynes. He says, when you say light feed for inland, what do you call light? What do you call heavy for the channel? High protein or high carb and high fat?
Well, for the land racing, we use like it's Jerry Plus, and it's a light lightweight 100. Bears do it, and then for the channel race, then we change to we use the wet up mix. We use 3 different types of wet up mixes. I mean, and then one of them we use like a fat mix. It's called Galaxy. I think it's called Galaxy something energy or something. It's from Bears, like I mean.
Yeah.
We use that, like I mean, but we don't like the pigeons will be getting that like weeks and weeks before. Like I said it before, like you can't just go out and say, oh, give the pigeons this and they're going to win. It takes time for the pigeons to build up a body and muscle and to fly these races, man.
A fella here, William McCauley. Do you find any use flying them in the winter months, help them against the weather? Do you have to fly in during racing? That'd be a question I would actually like to ask myself,
Yeah, the pigeons are locked up. When the last Jumbo race is say the end of September, 20-something September, the pigeons don't get out until probably end of March. Don't let them out till end of March, I mean.
Sorry, that's
now
good.
They're in Avery's Avery's right across front of the lofts. So they're in there, the Avery's having bats and that. We don't like to let them out. It's because of the hawks, like I mean, we don't let them out because the hawks round up is serious, like I mean.
Yeah. Right. So yeah, I suppose a lot of people have different opinions on that.
Yeah, some people let them out, I know, but we just don't let them out. That's just the way we do it, like I mean.
Do your cocks and hens see each other after training midweek during racing?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, 1 week, we had the cocks go, and the cocks go home, and then we let the hens go after them, and then the following Wednesday, then we let the hens go first, then the cocks go. But when the big race, and say it was a big race coming up, say it was like say cocks and hens, and the 2 of them go home together, and then they trap in together, like it kind of jizzes things up. But they wouldn't be in too long. My dad's always he's there. I'm away training, he's there, so he'd be separating them straight away. Like they're only in for a couple of seconds, like them in.
Fella here, Robert Anderson, one of the most honest interviews I've seen in a long time. Well done, Blaine. I'd say, Blaine, yeah, you're straight to the point. There's no horse shit. I can say about you. You know what I mean? You're straight, like you're dead on, and I have to say that I've spoke to you outside of this, and you're 100%. Like, there's not a bad thing I can't say about you. See, this is the thing. Like, I noticed about pigeon fanciers, they like it's like the chamber of secrets. They lock them all up. You know what I mean? Because the win, everything's about the win. Whereas I think you just have a passion for the sport and just keeping the boards and just doing well with them. You know, and it's great to see someone honest who tell you something.
Yeah, like it's in our like I said before, like it's in our family. Like we want to win every week. You can't win every week, but like it's in our family to keep pigeons. Like we love the pigeons. Like I mean, like if I had to stop racing, say something happened to me and I had to stop racing, I'd always keep the pigeons. Like the pigeons are number one. Like I mean.
That's it. And here, look, I totally agree with you myself. And they do. They take a good hold on you in life, and it's great. You know what I mean? You can't be keeping pigeons, and especially when you first get into them, you're like I get into them last year just before the November show, and I think I was like, why didn't I do this years ago? Couldn't believe that I was at that missing out on all them years of me being younger, saying like why didn't I do this? Because I tried to keep them before, and I went up to the club. I realised what I had to spend and what I had to get. I was like, I can't do this. So I just went off, and you know what I mean? That's what happened. Like, it'd be a different story when your old boy is interested in him. Obviously, you don't just give him a dig out and he's taking the financial side, but I was all on my own. So, but look.
It's hard for people. It's hard for young people coming to the sport. That's what I'm saying. There should be something done. Like I'm friends with lads in Uri and lads all over the north, and like they always say to me, there should be something done. Like we give a lot of, I give a lot of pigeons away to charity. Like I mean, there should be some sort of a charity thing done. And if there's any young person that's wanting to start up, we should help them out. Like I mean, like we have, there is organisations that have loads of money. Like it's just lying there in the bank. Like I mean, I know like there's a young fella in England there rang me 2 years ago, asked me to pigeons. He never raced pigeons before, and he said he was gonna see about getting a loft done, but he asked his mom and dad, but he never got back to me. Never heard anything from him. Like I mean, I would have given him a few pigeons, but there needs to be something done for helping young people. Like I mean.
Definitely, yeah. It's like, again, like obviously you can't go throwing money at every young fella that has a spontaneous decision, because I can be quite like that myself.
Well, like, there's certain people there that like I'm
got a message. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I lost again there. People like that are keen and they want to get into racing, like doing like.
Yeah, well, that's it. Obviously, you'll see people who really want to do it. A fella here, Chris Davis, is actually asking a few questions tonight. What do you do if the boards go off form, and how long do you think a board can hold its form for?
Yeah, well, see, we race week in, week out, and with the roundabout system. I mean, for some of the races, we'd leave them. Say when the big race is coming, we'd leave them in overnight. Say when they come home on a Saturday, we'd leave them in overnight, so they'd be taken out on the Sunday.
Yeah.
The two sections operating the Sunday. That kind of gives them a bit of bond. Like I mean, we add like then I start like we start adding like we try and we darken down the loft. We start adding like adding straw to the pigeons. Kind of adding little boxes and make up little boxes, put little box in the corner, and kind of take everyone, kind of make everyone as if they're gonna pair up again, like I mean, but they're not, like I mean, like. But the training on a Wednesday, like if you let one sex go, cocks go first, hens go, and like, but you have to keep the pigeons going. Like you have to keep them. You can't just say, "Oh, I was bet Saturday, that's it. Give up." You have to. You have to keep going. You have to keep going week in, week out. The pigeons have to be trained every week, and they have to be out every day. Like I mean, well, the weather, like it depends on the weather, like. Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Here, listen. A good day is a good day, and a bad day is a bad day. A chap here, Gavin Doyle. Do you break them down early in the week?
No. No, the pigeons are not broken down at all. I used to do it years and years ago, but no, we don't break them down. I mean,
again, a fella here, Keith Alistair. Again, well done, Blaine. A good, honest interview. So very good, Blaine. If you could give one piece of advice to a novice, what would it? Right, here we go. Chris Davis again. He's asking a good few questions tonight. He is saying here, if you could give one piece of advice to a novice, what would you suggest?
Try and, like, for a young person starting off, like, try and go, like, say, go to the best flyer in the area, like, I mean, like, say, and try and become friends with him, like, I mean, like, he mightn't give you pigeons because you're going to be racing against him, but he might, and then he'll ask him questions, like, get to know him, be pally with him, like, I mean, like, a lot of lads have helped me, like a lot of lads have helped me. Like I ask them, like I go around a load, I go loads of places and I ask loads of questions, and don't be afraid to ask that, and like they will help you out, like, I mean.
Yeah, well, that's it, yeah. Well, friendly people, you know what I mean? Sometimes you get the old codger that want to tell you a thing, so that's the other side of
it, isn't
it? Yeah. With the young boar sickness, do you get it, and what do you treat them with?
Not every year, but most years we get it. Now this year we didn't get it. Well, we didn't get the bad drop and throwing up food, but when the birds when we get you can kind of smell it when you're gonna get it. Like, you can kind of smell it in the loft. You can kind of, the pigeons will tell you, like, every day the young birds. Well, my dad does it. He checks every morning. The birds are checked. The droppings are all checked to see if there's any bad droppings. I mean.
Yeah.
And then you get, say they were holding, there's different types of young birds eating this. Like, say they were holding back corn, or the birds would be starved for 48 hours. I mean, no corn whatsoever. Then they'd be kind of given, they'd be given a light corn with, it's a light mix. It's it's called walled Susan. It's got no barley in it. I mean, we don't like, when they're sick, we don't like giving them barley, and no maize. It's kind of light mix, and we kind of give them like a little handful here, and we kind of gradually bring them on. I mean, but then we give them stuff in the water. Against it, like, it's kind of, we use different products. Like, one year you might use this product, one year you might use the next one, but it's kind of like, it's not to cure the onboard sickness. It's kind of help the secondary infections. I mean, it's to help against canker. When the pigeons are down, when they're sick, the canker, coxy, all that attacks the immune system. I mean, so we give that to help that. But when we see the sickness, they start straight away, and then they get electrolytes in the water. I mean,
yeah.
Or probiotics. We use a lot of probiotics. Now, this year, we usually use the Dr. Brokamp. It's Dr. Brokamp 1000, I think it's called. We use that. We use that in the water, like, I mean, or on top of the food, like, I mean.
Yeah.
It depends. When they're sick, we use product called Gem Packs. It's like a vitamin. It's real thick. You put on top of the food. We give that. It's a probiotic. We give that as well, like, I mean.
Yeah.
But the pigeons are stopped straight away. As soon as we see any sickness, there's no say, oh, they look okay, we'll chance them in 3 or 4 days' time. They'll stop for 5 or 6 days, like, until there's down fatter again. The pigeons will tell you, if there's no down fatter, like, we want the down fatter, like, I mean, the dropping's perfect, like, I mean.
Yeah, that's it. And that's just how you, as well, yeah, you just keep watching them and you'll know yourself, won't you, really?
Yeah,
just once you keep...
I watch, like, I'd come home, walk there, sometimes I'll finish at 12 o'clock at night, and I come home and I go in with a little lamp, check all the boxes, check underneath all the trays. But before that, we hadn't got pull-out trays in the last couple of years, but now we've introduced them, pull-out trays, and you can see the droppings, like, I mean, but a lot of people don't have them, but it doesn't really matter. But we try and check all the droppings, and if you see bad droppings, you start we used to panic. I used to panic. I used to be like, "Oh, what am I gonna do? Ring this fella and ring this fella and ring that," and I'd be panicking. But I don't panic anymore. Like it's you get it, like them, and that's the name of the game, like them. But we want to get it before the first race. Like I'm always praying, oh, we get it now, we get it now. But this year now they didn't get it. But the year before last, 2018, they got it, and our young birds, when they got it, they had it for a couple of days, and then in 2018, our young birds flew out of their skin, like them, and so.
Yeah. He's gone again. He's getting a message. I have another question here from him. Let me show this here now. Yeah, you're back, yeah? That's all right. There, Arron Haynes has here, he says, what percentage of your young birds do you look to take over for yearlings each year? Do you like to keep a lot of the youth in your team or old experienced pigeons?
Yeah, it's a good question. Yeah, the young bird, I rear about 100 young ones. I hope to have 100 young birds in the team, right? And then between letting them out and hogs and that around the house, there'll probably be 80 for training. Say we've got 80. We'd be hoping to have probably about 50 or 60 of them to bring over. But if the race, when the young birds are raced, they're raced week in, week out, and the federation that we're racing in, it's tough racing. Like there'll be big losses. It's a big jump. Like our birds have to fly 20 miles on their own from Dublin down here. Like it's yeah. Then we do like this year. I like to retire the winners. I like to retire the good winners, the old birds, like them. So I would go into the loft, say Cock won either few wins or he performed really well a day. I like to bring the youth into the stock loft. I think it's winner the winner. Like when we're bringing the youth into the stock loft, you get breed winner the winner. And we try and get you get winners like most of the time any of them, man.
Yeah. Well, that's it. He's gone again. I'll have to wait for him now. Ask him another question. Yeah, all right. Then you're quick on that one now. Right. There's a fella here, Keith Gardner. He says, Blaine, if you have a cock or a hen coming from racing, how long would you leave them? Would you leave their mate at home or doing? Oh no, I don't get this now. Blaine, if you have a cock or a hen coming from racing, would you leave their mate at home or doing they all every week? Sorry, man, I can't make heads or tails of that comment. If you just want to fix that up there. How do you deal with one bird when it flares up? Hello there. What do you feed Saturday and Sunday for sprinters? That's Sean.
Well, we don't really. Our birds are not really. They're not really. Our race is not really sprint. It's kind of like well, it is. It's sprint mid. It's a bit of everything, but they get fed the same. Like they get fed Jerry plus they get without mix like them, and it's
well done, Blaine. Great interview. Everyone's loving the interview. Actually, I never said to you we were about 160, 170 people strong. We're averaging about 120 constantly. So there's a good few people tuned in. Very honest. A fella here, Pompey Plunkett. Very honest answers from Blaine. Fair play. Ask Blaine how many weeks or days does he stop training before French nationals? So would you stop the training before that?
No. We kind of when the French when the opens come, the pigeons are train more. We put like the train to probably bring them 40, 50 miles, probably 2 or 3 times a week, like them. Now we send them in the transport. The transport in our club, his name is John Flood. He we descend with him. Like he goes down as far so that Leopardstown our club, which is probably 70 miles. They get 2 or 3 of them, like especially coming up to the big channel races. They have to be super fit. Like when we like some people are different. Like I know Pigeon men that fly France have won the King's Cup. They're all different, but it's just the way we do it. I think it's the way our pigeons are. That they need loads of work. Like they're fed well, everything to get everything they want, and they're trained hard, like, I mean, especially coming to the big races, I mean.
Oh, that's it, yeah. Like, again, I think, like, again, yeah, the way I look at you and your pigeons, I just think you understand the type of bloodline of pigeon you have, and you know what to do with them to get the best out of them, to be honest with you. That's what I think. But
Yeah,
again, they're winning on different systems as well, though. You know what I mean? Stop smoking. Girlfriend gave it out over me smoke. Jesus Christ.
he's only
Yeah,
smoking Pigeon.
sure, look. Yeah, yeah, so look, but they're winning on other people's systems as well, so they're an all-round good board. Like, definitely, like, their decision is a board I'm looking into myself personally. I've been onto people looking into them, but I think they're the way forward. They're just a good hardy pigeon, and like, obviously you were doing the damage.
Yeah, well, they were around on Ireland nearly 30 years, like, I mean, and they can win from sprint, mid distance, like, they're a good all round pigeon, but like you get the good ones and the bad ones in them, but like any family, but like I like our pigeons, we like to win up the land, we like to win the fed, then we like to go across the channel. I mean, we just don't like a pigeon that consistently win on the land. Like, there is loads of pigeons that won't fly the channel, like them. They don't like that water, they don't like that Irish Sea. Like, it's people don't understand. Like, when I go to Belgium, I'm trying to explain to them, oh, there's the Irish Sea, and they just think it's a little pond of water. It's different, like, I mean, it's you need like, I have kind of, me and Jim and my dad, we kind of have bred the pigeons in the fly, like, in around the channel. Like, we started, like, say, breeding good pigeon, a good channel performance winner to another good channel performance winner, I mean, and then that's how it's going, like, I mean, like, this year Jim, he won 2 opens, he's second twice. They were coming down, like, the grandchildren of the King's Cup winner. So, and there were sprint races, like, he won the race. I think one of them was 80 something miles, one of them was 140 something miles, like, I mean, like, so the same pigeons can do it, like, I mean.
Yeah.
But
come here, someone comment and see how long we're going for, actually, because I swear to God, the back's hanging out me here. The fella Billy Harris is on here now, and he says, "Well done, guys. Very interesting. Blaine, King Cup winner, is a super pigeon, as well worth mentioning how you prepped her before the King's Cup."
yeah, before the King's Cup, well, the King's Cup winner was a brilliant young bird in 2012. She was a brilliant young bird, and I was first and second open at Skibbereen at the East Coast Fed. It was the young bird national. I think I was third and fourth middle section. She was fourth. So then that was a young bird. Then the yearling, then she was first club Pilmore Beach. Then as a 2-year-old, then she went on. Then she raced nearly every race. She went to the Skibbereen national race. Then we used to race at this place called Toro, it was a bit of a disaster. We sent, and she was first club. I think she was 8 open. 12 and a half hours in the wing. She raced that race. That was a tough race for her. But she come home. Every time she come home from a race, she'd land on top of the landing board. She used to go around and say, she'd be cooing. Like, she was kind of paired to us. Like, she was paired to me and my dad. Like, I mean, then we were training her hard. Like, we used to train with another transport, and she'd be going to Arklow. They'd be going to Arklow on a Tuesday. They were training really hard. She went to Penzance in between that. She was my second pigeon. Then the King's Cup was put back a couple of days that year. It was put back a week. We the last old bird race was Tremor. She was sent to that. The King's Cup was the day before she went to the King's Cup. I brought them down to Arklow, and I let them go 2s and 3s at a time. Like, I mean, but the the morning of the King's Cup, when I was feeding the pigeons, I mean, she used to jump on top of your shoulder and put your hand there, jump on top of your hand, like, I mean,
So she
the
was
pigeons,
happy at
when they
home. She was
become
happy pigeon, like, was she?
happy, yeah, and it's in the family, like, I'm friends with Billy Howard there, and he can even tell you, the pigeons they're really protective, and they get to know, like, they're really tame then, when you're getting to know them, they become tame, they like them,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's it, really.
Yeah, that's it, really, yeah.
There's a fella here, Aaron Hines, again. He's another question for us. For a roundabout system, do you keep everything the same every week, or do you change the time they're together, playing tricks, etc.? Also, which do you think is the biggest factor of motivation, motivation or feeding? Will someone tell me how long this dive is going for, please? What are you saying there?
For the round of a test, they kind of start off getting in, say, 10, 15 minutes, probably for 2 or 3 weeks, and then on the Friday, and then we let them in a little bit longer, say a half an hour. But we were going to the pigeon loft on a Friday. We were only on a Friday. I've got a loft jacket, loft coat. I put that on, and my dad puts his on. Only on a Friday, going to the pigeon loft. The pigeons get to know you. Oh, he's coming with this loft coat, like they kind of click on to it, like.
Yeah, well, here, look, anytime I'm in my loft, I wear my loft jacket. It's just, and I got the same for my little brother. I got the same thing for my little brother. I actually got it for the present. I wear my loft coat as soon as I walk in. So because there's two of us doing the boards, at least probably the colour or the shape of the jacket, the way we wear it, it just familiarises the boards with two of us. You know what I mean? That's what I think personally.
Yeah, well, we wear ours on a Friday, and we only wear them on a Friday, and to see me with jacket on a Friday, and then but everything is kind of, the loft's kept calm. We don't want to rush the pigeons. I mean, like I basket, say, the cock and the basket the hens together, and then they'll let settle, say, for 15, 20 minutes before they go anywhere. So then we put them in the van. I go to the club. My dad doesn't go anymore. I bring them around the pigeon club, but some weeks then, like I did say that we introduced the little box. We put little boxes around the loft. Might stick up a few feed perches, but we don't like driving them too mad, like, because you can drive the cock overboard, and you can drive, and then to see if you got a fast race, the cocks it over, shoot, and then they're gone. Like, I mean, you can drive them overboard too much, like, I mean.
Yeah, well, okay. That's it. Great, Blaine. I'm gonna cut it there because we're doing it an hour and 20 minutes, and the old voice box is not gonna hold out around Blaine. But so an hour and a half. The time flies when you're having fun. That's great, Greg O'Reilly. Great suggestion. Great watch. Thanks very much, lads. Listen, I thought that was a great interview, and Blaine, thanks very much for coming on. I think you were a great
guest. Thanks very much for having me on.
No, here, listen. I was thinking to myself. I was there last week. I was thinking to myself, who can I get? And just through watching you, seeing your boards, I was thinking to myself, you know what? I was like, he's the person to get on here, and very impressed. I have to say, I'm walking away a better pigeon fancier myself, and I hope everyone else enjoyed the interview, because I certainly did. And you were a great. Listen, you did all the talking. You made my job easy. And anyway, fair play. He knows his stuff.
If anybody wants to know that, and just give me a text, like, anytime, like,
Yeah, look, no bother. Blaine, as you can see, he's a real down-to-earth fella. He'll welcome you with open arms, as you can see. There's one more. Right, there's one more question for you, Blaine. Right, we'll call it quits because it's a fair one. Stephen McGuire, I think his name is. I'll give you this last one, and we'll call it a night. How do your hens and cocks compare to any other when racing? Do you find the hens far superior than the cocks, especially when the distance kicks in? Or what's your opinion on both sexes? Which is the most successful of the two?
Now, that's a good question.
I read it. We read it before I say it to you, and I was like, you know what? I'm good when I have to just get it out there just before we go. So it is a good question. I had to drop them again.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Come on.
I'm back. In my family of pigeons, I find the hens are better. Yeah, they're better. I find them better. Now the cocks do okay, but I'm better with the hens. I think it's just the management system with the hens. The hens are round about. They're on feed perches. Like I think it's just a system with the hens. Like we find the hens better. Like I mean, right. The cocks are good too. We like racing hens. Like I mean.
Right, sure. That's it. Everyone, thanks for tonight. I enjoyed it. I hope everyone else did. So yeah, Blaine, listen, you're an absolute gent, and it was great to have you on. I'll see everyone later. Blaine, you take it easy as well. Again, good luck for breeding season, and I'm sure I'll be dropping down to you soon enough, and we can have another little chat between us. So look, everybody, thanks for watching. I enjoyed tonight. I hope you all enjoyed tonight. Blaine, I'll see you later, bud. Right? See you all later.
Thanks. See you later.
See you.
Bye. Bye. Thanks.
No, what up? Bye. So that's it. Right, everybody. I'm over now. I'm going home to go get a wash and go to bed. I hope everyone enjoyed it, because I really enjoyed that one now. I have to say, really enjoyed it. As you can see, Blaine, absolute gent of a man. So look, I'm well educated walking away from that, and I don't think he's full of bullshit at all. I think that everything he said was 110%, and you can't doubt him. He's a great flyer and a great breed, man, and his pigeons are doing the damage. Again, he's like I think it was between him and a good friend of mine and one or two other people looking at results and all made me want to go get decisions. Now, other people have different opinions, but that's I think yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, so look, I really enjoyed it. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. I thought he was a very honest man, very honest pigeon man. Again, I think they're few and far between, but there you go, there's one of them. So yeah, I really enjoyed tonight. So listen, I'm going. It's hashtag stay flying, keep flying. Sorry, I always get that wrong. So yeah, I'll see you all later. See you later, lads.